Hello. Okay, so today going to go through trigonometry. If you see a right angle triangle, you're going to probably be coming across either Pythagoras' theorem or trigonometry. So Pythagoras' theorem will be if you've got all three, or you're working on just the sides and not the angles. Trigonometry involves an angle. So right angle triangle, this is the information. Again, you can pause this, copy this off if you need. So I'm just going to go through the formula that you'll need to remember, and then we'll go through how you use them. So we have this triangle, got the right angle here. The longest side is always opposite the right angle. It is called the hypotenuse, so we're going to shorten that to h. Then we have an angle. The angle could be here, or it could be up here, and depending on where it is, these two sides will switch round. So opposite the angle, we have the side called the opposite, and then next to the angle, next to, word is adjacent, which is an A. Obviously this side is also next to, but we know that one is the hypotenuse, so we shouldn't be getting those two confused. If you've got that, then now there's a variety of different ways you can remember it. Weirdly, people just remember Sokotoa. It seems to stick in the brain, but so, S-O-H, car, C-A-H-T-O-A. Then if you can remember, it goes around in a clockwise direction. So depending on what sides you use, and we'll go through this in a minute, depends on which formula you use. This is a way of remembering them. So, S-O-H is sine, here's the S-O-H, C-A-H, C-A-H, and T-O-A, T-O-A. So if you've always been wondering what these symbols on your calculator do, this is where we're going to find out. And it's sine of an angle, cos of an angle, you can just treat it like a number. Years ago, there used to be lookup tables. We'll go through at another time how this works, why it works, where it's come from. Now we're just going to learn how to use it. So this is just a number. So if you typed in sine 12, it's just a number. It's nothing mystical, if you like. So sine rule, SOH, you can see is sine theta equals, theta is the angle, opposite over hypotenuse. CAH, and this is why we've got this round here, CAH, cos theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and TOA, tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So those are what you need to know. Feel free to pause this and copy that down, take a picture, whatever you want to do. Otherwise, we're going to go through, there's 3 different situations you might have. So I was just going to draw this out and got keen and started it. So on each of these are the 3 questions you're going to have. 1, 2, 3. We're kind of showing you the method. We've got question. Then in each question, you're going to identify the angle and size that you've got, and therefore choose which formula you use. Then we're going to have got the 3 different types. So obviously, this could be sine, cos, or tan. Once you've got the formula, it doesn't matter. The 3 different situations we're talking about are these 3 here. You could interchange cos and tan depending on what it is up here. But once you've got the formula, it's the same thing. Then we're going to substitute, and then you're going to solve. Hopefully this will make sense. So this first one here, I've looked at it and I said, okay, my angle is x. My opposite side is 4, and my hypotenuse is 5. Therefore, with the O and the H, I would look back and I would say I've got the O and the H, so therefore I'm going to be using the sine rule. So I would write that down. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. I'm then going to substitute in. So I have got sine, my theta is x, equals my opposite is 4, and my hypotenuse is 5. So this is actually the easiest one to do. We can put this straight into the calculator. The reason is if we can remember that x to the minus 1 means 1 over x. So in effect, if we were to treat this like x1, we wanted to get rid of the sine from this side, we would divide through by sine. So actually, what you can write is x equals sine to the minus 1, that's our dividing by sine, of 4 over 5. So if we put this into our calculator, shift sine brings up the sine to the minus 1. You can see it in yellow here. Then we can put in the fraction, come out of that, close the bracket, and that will be our answer. So in this case, x equals, and if we're going to round it to, the question will tell you what to round it to, but given I'm writing the question, I'm going to say 1 decimal place. So that's our answer for the first situation. If you had a cos or a tan and these were slightly different, once you pick the formula and substituted in, this method is exactly the same. So that's situation one. Second one here, I'm going to identify my variables. So my theta, my angle, is 20. Here I've got the adjacent side, so my adjacent side is x, and here hypotenuse is 5. So I'm going to look at A and H, and I say, this time A and H, I've got my Cos Rule. So I'm going to write down the Cos Rule. Cos theta equals A over H. Now I'm going to substitute in. So cos of my angle, which is 20, remember that is now treated just like a number, equals adjacent x divided by my hypotenuse, which is 5. This I can solve like normal. Imagine if this was a 10, I would do 5 times by 10 would give me my x. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to multiply through by the 5. And we have this. Then I can bung this straight in the calculator. 5 times by cos 20, close the bracket, equals 4.7, again with rounding. So my x side is 4.7. Last situation is over here. So again, same deal, theta equals, this time I've moved this up here, 30. So my adjacent is down here this time. Sorry, my adjacent is here, my opposite is here, and my hypotenuse is here. So we've got the opposite side, and we've got our adjacent side. So I'm going to look at this. We've got O and A. So I'm going to look here, which is the tan rule. So we've got tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So then we substitute in. So tan of the angle equals opposite over x. Now on this one we've got two, on this one we only had one thing to do, which was move this 5 up here by multiplying. We've got an x on the bottom, so what we're going to do is multiply, same way as we did with this, to get the x up here. Then we can take this, which is a number, and divide through by it. So the first step is to multiply by the x. So we've got x tan 30 equals 6. Then I'm going to divide by this, so x equals 6 divided by tan 30. Again, calculator, 6 tan 30, close bracket, it equals 6 root 3, or if you need it as a decimal, 10.4. So that's trigonometry. Give it a go, see what happens.